Hello, everyone. Thank you, Business Blockchain Expo, for the invitation. Today, I'm going to talk about how DAI work and the underlying stablecoin system works. I will share with you how it enables an open financial ecosystem that companies and organizations such as yours can leverage to create business and social value today. Let me first start by introducing myself. I'm Kathleen Chu, Japan lead for the Maker Foundation. I joined Maker in March 2019 and have been involved with blockchain since 2017. I have more than 15 years of experience in journalism, and I'm also the co-founder of Yasashi Defy, a study group that meets once a month to learn about DeFi. I spent most of my career as a journalist with Bloomberg, and during my time covering the financial market, I have noticed that there's a disconnect between the financial market and the regular individuals. That is the case, especially in Japan, where half of the household assets are in cash and deposits. That means even individuals in the developed countries like Japan, with one of the biggest economies, are left out from the financial market, not to even mention about those individuals in the smaller economies. That is why I became interested in blockchain and specifically DeFi, or decentralized finance, because I believe that it has the potential to help address, if not solve, some of these issues. In the next 15 minutes or so, I would like to go over how MakerDAO is reinventing an open financial ecosystem to make it accessible to everyone. At the same time, ensuring the liquidity and the flexibility are in the control of individuals. I would like to introduce you to MakerDAO, go over how DAI and Maker protocol works, also share with you how DeFi can be utilized by businesses today. Lastly, I will share with you briefly about our views on the Japanese market. First, let me introduce MakerDAO. MakerDAO consists of Maker protocol and Maker community. Maker protocol include smart contracts, stablecoin DAI, Vault. So basically anything that sits on top of Ethereum to help provide a store of value. In regards to Maker community, it includes active participants in MakerDAO, include MKR holders, developers, DAI users, DAI holders, partners, and the Maker Foundation. MakerDAO is a decentralized organization dedicated to bring financial stability and transparency to the world economy. Its purpose is to create an inclusive platform for economic empowerment and unlock access to the global financial marketplace for all. MakerDAO enables the generation of DAI, the world's first unbiased currency, and leading decentralized stablecoin. DAI mitigates volatility through an autonomous system of smart contracts called the Maker protocol, as well as through decentralized community governance. So next, let me explain how DAI works. So DAI is soft-pegged to dollar. And where does the value of DAI come from? DAI is backed by multiple asset types, including Ether. One unique feature about DAI is the DAI savings rate. It is coming from the stability fee that vault owners provide. What is a vault? I will go over more in details in the next slide. Some other properties about DAI is that it is open and transparent. DAI is managed by a DAO-based governance. No single entity controls the protocol. The governance is overseen by the MakerDAO community. with a number of stakeholder groups. And finally, DAI brings scalability to DeFi, because without a currency in the space of DeFi, it can't basically prosper or grow, especially last year, over the past year, in such a rapid pace. Also, another important point is that the community is in the process of onboarding real-world assets onto the Maker protocol. How it works is that vault owners can use these real-world assets as collaterals and draw liquidity by issuing DAI. It has the potential to unlock some of the world's most liquid assets going forward. So basically, building a bridge between the crypto space and the real world assets. So let me talk about how Vault works. So basically how it works is that you lock up your assets as collaterals, and you can borrow against your own assets. And when you're done, you repay DAI back into the DAI stablecoin system, and as well as fees to retrieve a stability fee to retrieve the collaterals. Vault is designed to be over-collateralized, meaning that for every DAI, there's an axis of collateral. I have explained how DAI and a Vault work. Now let us look at how the Maker protocol works. So here are the core monetary components of the Maker protocol. On the top, you have a stable coin, which, like a currency, has 3 key functions. There are 1, unit of account used as unit of account, 2, medium of exchange, 3, store of value. Below DAI, you have risk governance, which govern the entire system. The governance community include MKR holders, make decisions on collateral risk parameters, and the governance community also seeks balance between supply and demand. As you can see on the slide, on one side, there's DAI supply. DAI supply is coming from collaterals. Supply is user-generated against users' own assets as collaterals. So when you open a vault by locking up your assets as collaterals and draw DAI from the vault, you create new supply in the system. On the other side, you see DAI demand. It's generated by DAI users who can be individuals as well as businesses. DAI can be used as peer-to-peer transfer, value transfer, remittance, and microfinance loans. Now that we have talked about how the core monetary components of the Maker protocol works, let me summarize some of the key points of the protocol and also highlight some of the participants in the protocol. So by summarizing it, the Maker protocol has no centralized custody. Users lock up their own assets, and issue DAI, and when they're ready to pay back, they can withdraw the collaterals. And all functionality of the protocol, so source code and governance, are publicly available and accessible. And business logic can only be changed through decentralized governance, which include box fixes, because code is not always law. It needs adjustment and fixing. The users of the protocol can be human or smart. It can be smart contracts. So to further understand how the Maker protocol works, let us look at the participants in the protocol. On the top, you have MKR holders that oversee decentralized governance. At the bottom, you have keepers who are in charge of liquidation and auctions. They can be in terms of keepers, they can be both, either bots that execute by software code or individuals, humans. And you see on one side, you have end users who use DAI stablecoin, and borrowers on the other side who put their assets as collaterals and draw DAI. Together, the core part of the protocol is formed. Now we have talked about DAI and the Maker protocol. Let me share with you the progress we have made. So far, more than 850 integrations have taken place, and the ecosystem is growing. You can see the bar chart on the right. There are transaction volume of Sai and DAI. Sai is single collateral DAI backed by Ether, and it was first launched in December 2017. About a year ago, we upgraded Sai to DAI, which can be backed by various types of collaterals. And the transactions using DAI has increased exponentially since. So we have gone from about 100 million DAI to 1 billion DAI in a year. Now, let me talk about why DAI is the currency used in DeFi. So DeFi, or decentralized finance, is what I see as how the next generation of finance will look. It has many important properties that are essential for a healthy financial ecosystem. The properties of DeFi include the following. It is immutable and transparent because the transactions are taking place on-chain. They are verifiable. DeFi overall is unbiased. It is open for everyone, everywhere. The accessibility to DeFi is unseen of, if you think about it in terms of the human history. That makes it a very inclusive platform to use. So for DeFi, which can potentially be the future of finance, for it to prosper, you need a durable stablecoin. So let's consider the properties of a durable stablecoin and how DAI fits into that. Remember, we discussed earlier, DAI is backed by different types of collateral, which provides resiliency in the face of market decline or even black swan events. DAI is over-collateralized. The value of the assets backing DAI is always larger than DAI in circulation. And there's also the capability called emergency shutdown. This is the ultimate PAC reinforcement mechanism supported by arbitrages banking on over-collateralization. So if you want to have a durable stablecoin, it has to have the properties of DAI. Let us look at how fast the DeFi has grown. So total value locked in DeFi has grown exponentially as well, just like DAI. It went from $1 billion to $14 billion this year. And Maker is among the top in the DeFi space, ranked by total value locked. And stepping back and putting DAI in context of what decentralization actually means. Decentralization is another word for ecosystem. It's an open and free ecosystem. As a business or an organization can take any part of the money Lego in DeFi and utilize it according to your needs. Let us take a look at a couple of examples. So one on the left is Compound. Compound Finance have utilized DAI as their main stablecoin and created a P2P lending platform. Users can lend and borrow from the platform and earn interest from lending out their crypto assets. Unlike traditional finance, where it is more rigid in terms of design, DeFi gives you the access to various protocols like a toolset that enables you to build something new seamlessly. Another money Lego app is Zerion. Zerion compiles many of the DeFi protocols and make it easy for users by putting everything at one place for users to utilize and track. The role of DAI here is to basically to enhance the stability of the Ethereum ecosystem, because any healthy ecosystem needs a durable stablecoin. So to get a sense of how DAI Lego DeFi Legos work. Here's a look at different layer of the Ethereum ecosystem. You have Ethereum as the basic layer, and Maker is right on top of that. Each protocol can utilize others and build something new. That is why we see a boost in the number of protocols in this space. I will share with you in the next slide another way to look at how these protocols interact. So Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper was published in 2008. And if you see the Bitcoin white paper as the Big Bang, here is how it looks after a decade. There are various protocols interacting and connecting with each other that will bring the financial system that we have today to a new level in decades to come. Finally, over the next couple of minutes, I would like to sum up my talk by highlighting some of the key points, as well as sharing about our views on Japan. So let me sum up my talk by highlighting some of the key points. What makes DeFi powerful is that it supports many different use cases because it's an open platform anyone can use. And it empowers anyone to have control and use their own assets in a secure and a transparent way. And Maker, as a decentralized autonomous organization that built the DAI stablecoin system, Maker is an inclusive platform that allows anyone equal access to the global financial marketplace. And DAI is the essential piece of the puzzle to unlock an empowered financial future. Lastly, let me talk about Japan. As mentioned earlier, the Maker Foundation's goal is to bootstrapping the growth of MakerDAO, and we see a lot of potentials in Japan. It is an important market for us. Based on the way the community in Japan is growing in the DeFi space, we see a lot of interest from the Japanese market. We hope to one day service Japan in the near future when all the legal status is complete. That is something we hope to do in the near future. I hope you find this talk informative. If you are interested in integrating DAI, let us know. Thank you for your time.